Okay, with the National Convention of the ruling party in Nigeria, APC, now done and dusted, the narratives will begin to change about the race to 2023. But some political parties will not be part of the party when the elections eventually commence next year because the INEC has come out to deregister them. 28, some papers are saying they're 28, or some are saying 22. We're sticking with 22 this morning, and that's what we're looking at on the program this morning. We're looking at INEC'S deregistration of 22 political parties in Nigeria. We're supposed to have two guests on this program, but one of them is here, and that's media practitioner and PR man, Mr. Abeokuta. He's one of our guests this morning. Good morning, Mr. Abeokuta.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm senior.
What came to your mind? Because last Friday, the Supreme Court actually upheld this ruling that these parties should be deregistered, 22 of them. What came to your mind first when you heard that story, the news?
Well, to me, it was a cheering news. One, because I've had the opportunity to supervise and monitor elections. You know, it's so confusing. You have about, I think about 90-something.
Yeah, it used to be 90-something, yes.
Yes, and the ballot sheet is as long as 1 kilometer, to use the word of somebody, you know, and then it's not good enough. We need to know that the democracy that we are practicing is a guided one. We're not yet there, you know. There has to be freedom of association. It's a constitutional guarantee, you know. But INEC, don't forget, has limitations, has capacities. A situation whereby you have, you know, on the ballot sheet, a lot of political parties. If the political parties are performing, then there will not be problem. What's a political party? A political party is an association, you know, that canvasses for votes, you know, for the purpose of election. You cannot rule that one out. Election, you know. And why would you just be existing on paper? We have, you know, about 774 local governments in Nigeria. We have several wards, thousands, tens of thousands of wards. We have more than 100 senatorial districts in Nigeria. You mean a party that calls itself a party
Cannot just win one.
cannot just win one? Then they should just do something. They should, you know. But some people have canvassed that rather than deregister them, they may register them but give them capacity and limit. Maybe.
So who is going to give them capacity? Is it INEC?
That's INEC. That is, rather than just wipe them off like that, let them be able to at least, you know, contest for votes for local government elections. Maybe for that. Maybe.
Okay, I
Okay, maybe let's quickly take this break and we'll come back to our conversation. Just a few minutes, a few seconds of break. We'll come back shortly. Stay with us. Okay, INEC'S, the registration of 22 political parties. That's what we're looking at on the program this morning. And also joining us is Dr. Rashid Adetoro, all the way from FC here in Oshele, Abeokuta. Dr. Adetoro, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure for being here.
Before you came in, Mr. Abeokuta has actually spoken about the impressions of some people that those parties that were deregistered shouldn't have been deregistered. Probably should have been allowed to also contest some elections, maybe at the local government level. Maybe they will have candidates that will be popular enough to win some seats, maybe as councillors or as chairman of local governments. What's your take on that?
Oh, yes, that's the beauty of democracy, you know. Democracy allows participation from all qualified members. You see, but my worry is some of these outer clauses that were already in the Constitution, like the Constitution empowers the INEC to verify the performance, use the performance of some political parties or the political parties in the last election to judge whether they will be deregistered or not. But I think, you see, it's just like assuming a student fails once, twice, you don't allow the students to continue to try. You see, you cannot just say, write the child off, that the child cannot make it in life. You see, ab initio, I expect that area of our constitution to be removed, such that by the stage we are in our democratic dispensation, even independent candidates should be allowed to contest elections, because you may be popular at your grassroots, and from there on, you can win a councillorship election, you can win even chairmanship, just like you said, and from there on, you garner momentum to mobilize and to get to the top. But the way I see it is like the beneficiaries of any system we always want that status quo to remain, regardless of whether it is for the collective good or not.
So, okay, when you look at the 2019 election, Doctor, and you look at the list of political parties we have on the ballot,
so many,
and so many,
over 90 something.
Yes. So, what exactly do you think INEC should do, if not deregister some of them that did not actually perform well, or do not actually win a particular seat in that election?
Probably, if actually there are other conditions for which political parties should be registered. For example, establishing yourself at the federal capital level, at the state level, even made all your officers, national officers, known, and even examine their pedigree. If actually thorough examination of some conditions had been done, probably we wouldn't have even initially had with the political parties. But then I'm still saying that there is also need room for allow for novelties, whereby independent candidates can even come in, not even under political parties.
Okay, maybe I should ask Mr. So let's explore why we have to, why people actually go into you know, creating a new political party. What we've known from history is that, you know, I belong to a particular political party, and my interest is not being, you know, being taken care of. Then I'm aggrieved. Then I have to say, okay, let me create a political party that would structure, you know, my own argument when it comes to the ideology that should, you know, that my party should carry. So I want you to tell us more about why people actually go into creating more political parties.
Okay. Don't worry, Simia, don't go too far. Sometimes I am as confused too. The democracy that we grew up to meet, you know, I'm still a middle-aged person. I knew the politics during the times of Awolowo and Azikiwe. when they will fly helicopters to our remote parts there. Politics should be about ideology. That is completely lacking now. Now, a political party too should have character. That's why I would differ a little from the submission of Doctor here. One step at a time. We're in a critical time in Nigeria that we cannot just be playing with novelty. Even if INEC want to really do that job very well, by practice, I think Babangida understood the orientation of Nigerians very well when he says there's one on the right, there's another on the left, talking about the SDP and the NRC. Nigerians are either conservative or they are progressive. But you see, in Nigeria today, you have political parties that is supposed to be progressive, but those who you find there, those who are even piloting their affairs there, they are conservative. But as for those parties that are already deregistered, the reason why you cannot give them more chance, like Doctor was saying, if you fail once an exam as a student, it doesn't mean you fail forever. You should have opportunities. And that's why I canvass that they should allow them to participate in lower elections. Then measure them again. A party should have a character. It shouldn't even be about national spread. A political party can be regional. Maybe I'm and I hold this place very well. So if I contest for local government, you say I've not been able to win any seat. Good. Let me contest in Abeokuta here. And I'm able to, take a lot of councillorship seats in Abeokuta South, in Abeokuta North. And I pick maybe the chairman of both, and Odeda, and Obafemi. That party already has a character. It is the character,
state,
which is part of Nigeria.
Yes.
It means that this party has a basis to stand. But what INEC has done, as empowered by the Constitution, they have power to verify, to look at their performance, and not even one seat at all. It's not good enough. So they are right to have done what they, but we need to come back to politics of ideology. Once we have that, thank God the judiciary appears to be waking up to say you cannot just be jumping like prostitutes. There are a lot of political prostitutes in Nigeria, and they do it without any sense of shame. You are in a party under an umbrella. You came into office, and without any reason, because talking about that of Ebonyi State now, other than, I want to move towards the center, I want to this and that. So politics should not be about selfish ambition. We have had people who say they are throwing their hat in the ring, they want to be president, it's because I have a lifelong ambition. No, that will not fly.
Some people have also said that we have all of this because of the prizes that are attached to public offices. That they are so humongous,
lucrative.
And
talking about the pecs.
Exactly, the pecs of offices, and so people naturally will want to move from one party to the other, and if they are disgruntled, they want to create another one, and all of that. Dr. Adejo.
Yes, you see, a lot of things, we need to do a lot of rethinking about our electoral process, actually, and we have to be sincere about it, sir. Like you said, I quite agree with your submission. You don't necessarily have to be ambitious about capturing the center or capturing the state. Know fully well that your power is not much more than mobilizing at the grassroots level. Look, honestly speaking, it's because we are devoid of ideological principles in our party formations, and even the character my co-discussant said. If not, why must you start running only after the center? It's because you found out that the center is very juicy. That means it's a negation of serving the people. That is a kind of principle of self-service. And of course, when you look at our various CDAs, it reflects there. You can see people who are really showing concern of serving their people there, as against people who have interest in galvanizing for national cake. So we actually have to be sincere about what we are doing. And of course, there must be conditions for certain things to actually progress.
When did they even coin that expression, national cake? Is it not, because I don't know, maybe sometime in the 70s or when national cake?
It is when your generation came on board that we are hearing all these quotes and acronyms. But who doesn't know a cake? Cake. Who doesn't know that a cake is very sweet and it's almost free?
Because I don't get to hear these in advance.
You will not hear
because the national cake.
They are so matured. They are more concerned about serving their people. Patriotism is the hallmark there. And that is why you see that even independent candidature can pull weight more than even some political parties. Voters' education. Voters' education in the sense that we need to know that we are committing our future and that of our children
Is it not
in the hands
Doctor, can we ever
of some people? And if we don't get the right choice,
yes,
we are already finished.
Mr. Ojo, he said we have pauperized people, Nigerians. Anybody that is pauperized will not listen to any education?
I think we have not done much of grassroots advocacy. And the cabals will not allow it to happen.
Let me quickly.
That is my suspect.
Doctor, let me quickly share a very good experience that I had sometime.
Okay.
I went to cover an event, and it was an empowerment program.
Okay.
And the federal lawmaker was the man. He invited some old women, 60-something, close to 70, from his constituency, and he arranged some food items for them, and he added cash of 5,000 naira to it. Now, in trying to justify that, he said, look, that if we are not giving these women this money, nobody will give them. That look at this 5,000 naira. This old woman will spend the money for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because she lives in one of the remotest areas of Odeda local government, where she will just, all she needs is just to go to her backyard farm, get a wedu for, and the rest of them, buy gari, buy fish, and in 2-3 weeks, she still has the money. So, so what education are you going to tell are you going to give such a person, not to vote for 5,000 naira?
Well, you see, it will still have to be gradual. Let me tell you, at a point in time, that old woman will have some siblings that have been exposed and will have been able to differentiate between right and left.
What about if the old woman has siblings that are also in this group that we're talking about? Because you see, this is not really about education. We have some people that are eminently educated and they will still sell their votes for as little as 5,000 naira.
That is poverty weapon.
Is it not greed too? Greed? What about greed?
When you look at it, how many of us here, you see, let me tell you, as you are saying that you are privileged to be part of an advocacy program for empowerment as well. I'm quite sure it cannot be for nothing.
That's a job.
I went to cover. He just by the way, I know.
Because truly, Mr. Arujulu, you are a media practitioner. the journalists are we not also guilty in all of this?
No, of course, we have journalists who have not been paid for 2 years.
For 2 years.
24 months,
Yeah.
18 months, and they are publishers.
In private or public organizations.
Of Asoro. Many, in fact, just remove 2 or 3 papers, just 3. Even one of the national newspapers, let me not mention, they have laid off all their correspondents and turned them to casuals. You see, this is what we are saying, that the followers have been pauperized. There is nothing, it's as if there is an enchantment against them. There's a way they must act. That's why these people know that when I have money, I do rice, I spread it in Kano. I do rice, I take it to Mina. Call the rice one name, put beans. But you see, the people, it's not about voter education. There's nobody who doesn't have no right and left. You know what is good, you know what is bad. But you see what we are doing now, Dibokosebe.
Hey, another acronym. No, I think, sorry, Senior, that's quite important. Dibokosebe. You know, and how do you explain that?
And they give you 10,000. Let me tell you, it's not about poverty. It's not mostly poverty. I went to Ondo State when they were doing the Akeredolu re-election. And I saw somebody very close to me. He's a school principal. And she told me, she said, Magbo Otemiu. She wouldn't have voted for Akeredolu on a normal day. Because at the end of the day, the man came back now. He's owing them like 6 months' salary. And started paying like 30%. And what I'm saying is this. That person is a millionaire because she has another job she's doing elsewhere.
Exactly.
You know, but Greece,
yeah.
And that idea that I want to be part of it.
Let's also explore this narrative, which is largely that the people we call followers, we largely don't participate in the process of democracy. Especially when you look at the number of people that turn out to vote in every election. And then the excuse for me, for people that I've spoken with, is always like, if you go and vote, your vote will not count. And we do nothing, saying that the vote is not going to count. So if the people are not also getting the information that if you do nothing, you are empowering these people to continue with what they've been doing all along.
Let me tell you, Simiat, there is no place, no society, no country where you have 100% voter presence.
50% at least.
Okay, what about the people who have, I live at Okeareba. I will tell you that people are massively mobilized. They go. Some will not go. But what about those who go? And when they go, you see, what we are doing in Nigeria, we are trying to amend our laws, to deepen, democratic values, to allow for more transparencies, which is good. You see, this electronic voting, it will help. It will change the narrative largely, because those days, when there's an election and the people who are, the party that is losing, when they find out that we will lose this place, they organize ballot snatching. This thing will check it largely.
So what is your message largely for the electorate now?
The electorate of which I'm part of them, we must have values. You must know that whoever is giving you money is your enemy. The Bible says, my people perish because they lack knowledge.
But, is it your enemy at the moment where it's the narrative about the Dibokosebe? Dibokosebe, that Obe.
That Obe will not last you a lifetime.
Exactly.
That Obe is just for today. Remember the Dibokosebe 10,000 that they did on do. When they do 10,000 now, go to Adaton, you finish that money.
But when you get the money, when they get the money, I'm sure the people giving them the money are not actually forcing them, at the point where they have to vote. It also means that they can get the money and still do what they had to do.
The Bible says
I don't know
if a gift is a bribe a gift is like a bribe. You know,
and when they get from 5 different people, are you saying that they are going to vote for the 5 people?
What we are saying is this: when they give you money, I know that they already is a poverty environment. The indices are there that Nigeria is the worst, poverty capital. And since the beginning of the year, I've been in this Nigeria for years. I've not traveled out anywhere. But since like November, December, I really pity the masses. The rate at which prices of goods has skyrocketed is, so how are people even surviving?
Doctor.
Now, if they give them money, whoever is giving you money, just know, write it on their head, this one is my enemy. He is my enemy. He wants to, So we need to have a knowledge.
But what about the man, the politician that doesn't give money and that still goes to office and does something that negates,
unfortunately, you can't get to power without spending money. Buhari, the president, got power without spending a dime. He didn't bribe anybody. But there were people, because of what they want to gain, they supplied it.
Maybe Doctor, you should tell us, how do we discourage the creation of more political parties, just so we could have spread of vote, to be able to have, access to power, access to offices, just so they could work for the people and not for their selfish interests?
I think we have to start at the grassroots, just like I said. You see, unfortunately, the grassroots politics has been molded such that nobody. Are you aware of when they even vote for councillorship or chairmanship of your local government? You just hear that one weekend some group of people gather somewhere and some candidates are demised and
they are the winners.
They are the winners and they are ruling there. Yeah. You see, it's unfortunate too. Honestly speaking, we are not doing democracy in Africa. Let us be sincere to ourselves. I want to say we are only doing what I want to call plutocracy. Plutocracy where those who know and have the wherewithal can maneuver to get themselves to leadership. That's what we are doing, sincerely speaking. So whether the Abeokuta is a strategy, and whether it is
stomach infrastructure
is a strategy. They are not based on patriotic politics and service to humanity. I think what we need to do, we need proper education for people, mass education. That's where we got it wrong. And they are using this also as a weapon. So and that's why they are destroying all these public schools, as we are seeing. Do you know that I was surprised when I heard that they said, now that we have finished our national convention is then that we want to listen to us. It's as bad as that. Can you see the mentality of the leadership? They are counting the think tank of the country as non-consequential to their political interest.
Where
do you do that and get
the education, the media,
maybe where is collecting? You know all the agents of you are part of it, and I don't know how sincerely you are doing your own role, you are playing your own role.
This is
one, I know you are doing it. And at my own level, everybody we should search our conscience.
As we're closing, APC, PDP, they are the two giant political parties that we have.
And they will fight it to the end.
INEC has deregistered 22. Now, are they the best in terms of ideology, in terms of giving Nigerians what we need? IPs quickly, before we go.
They are not. They are simply the smartest. They are smart because, look at APC, it was
the greatest plutocrats
on the verge of implosion. But the president spoke passionately in his speech, and I think
he knew where they were going.
Eventually, they have steadied the ship of that party. You know, the PDP on the other hand is also there, not sure of what to do. But I have a feeling, by inspiration,
Okay, sir.
a good man will not solve Nigeria's problem. We need a God man. That God man may not be a church man, may not be a mosque man. It happened in the Bible. We have had Jehu. We have pharaohs. Not all pharaohs are evil. There are good pharaohs. There are Herod, Nebuchadnezzar. We should be praying, Lord, send
A God man.
God man.
God man surrounded by God men.
Well, if we have a God man, that God man would have been prepared. You know, it's like you come into a mission that is bigger than you. You are prepared for it. Then you go, a good idea cannot solve Nigeria's problem. What we need is a God idea. I pray we'll find it.
Well, I say amen to that.
No, but we all have to support God's idea. Otherwise, God says He will not come down to change the condition.
He will not come down, but
we are prepared to change the condition by
ourselves. In the day of
ourselves.
His power, His people will be willing.
It will be willing. Okay. I agree with you.
Okay, gentlemen, I must thank you so much for coming. Mr. Ayarowo Jolu, media PR practitioner, thank you so much.
Thank you
for your contributions on this program. Dr. Rashid Adetoro, also thank you.
It's a pleasure.
You have given me some jabs on this program today.
Don't worry.
You're very close to me.
Don't worry. You've been giving me before. It's to challenge all of us to be ready to do the way of God.
Okay. When we come back, we will be talking sports, football, essentially. It's 90 minutes to Qatar. The Eagles are playing in Abuja tomorrow, and so we'll see whether we'll be able to qualify for our 7th World Cup finals. We have the sports analyst joining us very soon to discuss that. Stay with us.